Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chicks Talking Pics with Jenny Wolf and myself, Sandy Zelasco. Hi, Jenny. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Sandy?
Good. Are you just as wet as I am here? Because we've got rain today.
It's starting. It's getting wet out there.
Good. Well, glad to see it. We need it here in Southern California. So great. We're coming to you today to show you a fairly large group of images from one participant who sent in their questions about entering the 2022 International Exhibition of Photography at the San Diego County Fair. And so we're going to try to get through that and post it fairly quickly so that we can give her some answers to her question. Yep. So let's go on to the first image. We're going to discuss this image and be quick about it.
Be quick
about All right. It. So we're going to try to be quick about it. Yeah. So, so I put up 3 images. She sent all these 3 images in and thought, which one is best? This is the Frank, is it Gehry house? Do you know how to pronounce that?
Sure, how to
in Minnesota. Okay. And she was wondering if any of these would be appropriate for the fair. Would they have a chance at being chosen for the fair? And I like to think yes on this one, because this is something we haven't seen in a while. Mm-hmm. Although we normally do nature images, which she has sent in. So, but we'll cover these architectural images real quick here and give her our best advice. So I'm going to, this is 3 renditions of the same image, and I'm going to show you all these images in full frame, and then we'll decide. Okay. So here's the first image. Jenny, you want to take it and let's kind of discuss these back and forth?
Okay. Yeah, definitely architecture's where these should go. Actually, when I first saw them, I was thinking it was the Disney Symphony Hall here we have in Southern California, but it obviously isn't. Similar architecture. I think it would do well. I'm not sure which version, which we can discuss a little bit more when we get to looking at all 3 of them. But just the style of the architecture itself makes it interesting. And as you saw, there was a cool processed one and a more warmer processed one. That's going to kind of come down to the judge's preference more than anything.
Mm-hmm. Let's run through them real quick so we can see them on full screen. So there's the first one. And that first one obviously was the warmer one. This one here is the cooler processed image. And this one here is the black and white.
Right.
So shall we go back, or do you have something? How about if we just go to the next slide, which shows all 3 of them again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about those. I love the composition on them. I think it's a little, could be a little cropped on the right-hand side because it's tight on the left, but not quite on the right. I think that space on the right could go away, which would eliminate some of that lighter sky. The sky is very dark in the upper left-hand corner, and then much lighter in the right corner, which might be a factor in what the judges think. What do you think about that, Jenny?
Yeah, I think if you brought it in on that side, on the right side, and because you just have that triangle of sky, and it seems out of place when you look at the rest of the image. So yeah, I would crop it in a bit on that side, and
crop it to that point, you mean?
I think I might think to go to the corner of the building and see how that looks.
Let's see if I have a tool here. I can kind of, so somewhere like right here, or we're looking at the front. Yeah.
My annotation showed up in the middle.
Yeah, yours did in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Then you get rid of this whole space here that's not really serving any purpose.
Right. I
Necessarily.
agree. Wholeheartedly. I agree on that one. In it, whichever version you do, I think you
Mhm.
take that corner off.
Yeah. And looking at the three together, the middle one is my least favorite.
Same here.
I'm a black and white person, and so I really like the black and white. And in this particular fair, they do separate color architecture from black and white architecture.
So what are you
And
saying? This categories are smaller?
and not having judged the architecture category, I don't know which one would be smaller, the color of the black and white.
Right. Yeah,
I don't know if you can enter the same image in two different categories.
Yeah, and I'm not sure you'd want to pay.
Yeah, I mean, you have to pay per entry, so it might not be worth that.
So
yeah.
you like the black and white one, and I do too, but I like the top one that's a little warmer because I like the golds that compete or that work well with the blues in the sky.
I think if the gold was a little stronger.
Yeah, and that
you would have the contrasting color of yellow and blue.
Yep.
And I think that would make it pop a little better, and then that might actually do better than the black and white version, because it would really stand out a little more. So maybe give that yellow a little more, pop to it, bring it out a little more.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. Good. Okay, let's, I just want to say also that this is composed very nicely, except for that right-hand side. And the sharpness, everything's really great about it. I think it has a really good chance at the county fair. All right, let's go to the next image. So now there's two images here with a different perspective of that building. Again, nicely done. Depth of field is great. Composition, like this one a lot. And which one do you like better, Jenny?
I like this one better. It's a lot more unique. And it's a little more focused in on just one part of the building. The other one was showing a whole lot of stuff, and this is a little more dialed in onto just one feature.
Yeah. And of the two, which one do you like better?
That one's hard, actually. I do like them both.
I go for the color one again for the same reasons, basically.
I think the clouds have a little more, they stand out better in the color.
Mm-hmm.
The sky gets a little too washed out in the black and white one.
Yeah.
And
what about that that top left-hand corner? I think that needs to be corrected. That's a dark shadow. Maybe it was a little vignette from a filter you had on your camera or something. Although you would think you'd see it in both corners.
Well, you do see it in the blue, but it's not as obvious.
But it's still obvious.
It's more obvious in the black and white. Yeah. And it could have just, if she had a polarizer on it, it could have been over polarizing that part of the sky. So lighten that up, or maybe do a vignette around the whole thing as well might.
I think I'd get rid of it. I don't think I'd try to vignette that other part of the sky.
Yeah.
But I love this one too. So, okay. So we'll go on from here. That was, architecture or abstract on this one?
I'd say architecture, because it's not.
Yeah, I would too.
I mean, it's obviously a building. It's just the building is very unique design, but it's not far enough to be abstract.
Yeah, I agree. Good. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Oh, these were the two. I'll give you a chance to see both of them. You can see what I'm talking about up in that left-hand corner.
Yeah, now. It's definitely very obvious.
Yeah, you need to get
black and white, but you can see it in the color one as well.
You need to get rid of that. Fix that. All right, here we go. And this is her third rendition of, and she only had one rendition of this one. I still like the second one the best.
I agree. I like the second one the best. This one's a lot busier. And you don't necessarily want to be entering all of your images in the same category because then you're competing against yourself.
Right.
So I would say entering the second one, if you want to just pick one,
Right.
enter the second image,
I agree.
either the black and white or the color, or maybe do one of,
One of each.
one in black and white and one of the others in the color. Probably the first one maybe in the color category.
Yeah,
The
good,
one with
good
the darker
thought.
tint, and then pick something to, yeah. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at this one side by side with the first one to see which I like better.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't set it up that way. So
That's
I guess we'll let the maker make the choice.
Yeah, I would say definitely enter the second one into either the black and white or the color, and then pick another one if you really want to add another architecture, but don't
And
do
do
it
the
in the
opposite.
same
Yeah.
color or black and white category.
Good. All right, now on to a more, well, this is still a graphic image. This is one image of two different ways. So I'm going to show you the first way. This is paintbrushes on a wall. I like it. I really like it.
And
it's
she did
still
say
life.
this is a cell phone
That-
photo.
Yeah, cell phone. Yes. I think still life category. Let me show you the black and white one. I'm not as crazy about it. I do like the shadows though, but I'm just not as crazy. I see too many halos. In this conversion, I see halos around all the brushes, which drives me kind of crazy.
Yeah. And the blacks, you lose a little detail in the bristles because the blacks have gone so black.
Yeah, I agree.
So that could be undone by processing it a little differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even the background of the wall is, you can see texture and a different texture here and then no texture. So I don't know really what's going on there. So I'm going to go to the
color, the stamp.
Yeah, so we can see both of them at the same time. Let me go back to the color one big. Let me just go back to that one just real quick.
Yeah, it has the same wall texture.
It does, yeah. Yeah, and so I'm going to say, now that I've seen the black and white one where the halos have, reached out to me and kind of spoiled it, I do see them in the color now more quickly, because now once you've seen it, you can't unsee it.
Mm-hmm.
So, so my preference would be the color again. And what about yours, Jenny?
So I had a couple. Well, one of her questions was to put this in cell phone category or to put it in still life.
Yes.
And it could fit in either. It's definitely a still life. I judged the still life way back when I first started judging the fair. And a lot of the still life images are not still life. And so a lot of them get knocked out right off the bat. So it's not a really highly competitive category in the past, although the really good still lifes are really good. So I think it could go either way. It might do better in still life than cell phone, because cell phone it's an open category. It can have anything. The only thing I might, and I agree, I think the color has a little more, it grabs you a little better, but I might take it and process it a little more painterly.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Brushes. Put it in Snapseed and maybe apply some textures to it and see what you can do.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Pop.
That would be really fun to do. Snapseed and throw a couple of textures in there, or some, yeah, you'd have to play around with it. This would be a fun one to play with. So great. Okay, let's go on to the next one, which is not an architecture or still life or anything. So this is interesting. And she was asking, is this good enough to go into the fair? And I couldn't remember if she said this was a cell phone also, I believe.
She did say it was a cell phone, and since it was done at night, she was concerned the quality which is
Yeah.
why it looks the way it does, partly, I think.
You
I'm not sure
know,
how much of that is processing and how much is just the pushing the cell phone to its limit.
I really like this image. And let me just say this out loud. You may not know who this is, or you may know this who this is after I tell everybody. I'm not going to say her name, but I'm going to say she has 20 cover images. So it's not like she doesn't know what she's doing. She absolutely does. And I love this image. The guy's a little centered, but you don't want to crop from the right any because of that wave. So
Yeah.
I feel the expanse, and that's her kind of style or kind of genre, beach expanse scenes. So I really love this image.
Well, and that's part of the reason she gets covers, is there's lots of room for copy on her images.
Yeah, true.
I
Yeah.
might bring in the left side a little bit just because of how centered he is, but
Mhm.
not, it may not be necessary.
Yeah.
And there are some, the sand looks kind of funky, which might be because of it being cell phone.
Yeah, but it might do really well in the cell phone category.
True. Yeah, I think it would best to be put in the cell phone category. Otherwise, it would be going into
Seasons, scapes, what, I don't know where that would
well, I was thinking one of the people categories, which
okay.
there's family moment, or there's documentary. People informal. That was what I was looking for.
People informal.
Yeah,
okay.
candid pictures. That would, I think, be the people category it would fit in, but that's a really big category, and I don't think it would do as well in that.
No, I don't either. I think it'd do better in cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very nicely done. Good use of vignette. This is, I can't remember the title, but it was something about grunion running. So
grunion hunting, yeah.
Grunion hunting, yeah. There, good. Very good. Nicely done. This is interesting. Go ahead, Jenny.
And I think her question was based simply, is this good enough? Is I think how she phrased it. Again, this would probably be a candid moment. I don't know that this one was a cell phone. It doesn't do a lot for me, I have to say.
I think it's processed really well. I think the timing is perfectly captured because there's no merging of that person with the mountains in the background or the rocks beneath him. Well, hopefully there's no merging of this guy and the rock beneath
the rocks below him.
Yeah, that would be a bad thing. But I mean, you know what I mean? It's not, there's no merge with the subjects, and I love the texture of the rocks, and I think the sky's a little bright, but and he's in the middle. That's what kind of makes it feel weird to me. Maybe if it was cropped off the left side, I'd hate to crop any of those rocks off because I love those textures.
Yeah,
but I think maybe if you took something off the left and put him more in a intersecting line, like, the rule of thirds would maybe apply. Yeah, I don't, again, informal people, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would be. But I'm also thinking if you take things off the left, that's the direction he's going in. So you're chopping off the
that is true.
Direction of the,
although rules are made to be broken. So what if you took a little bit off the top and the left? Oh, you'd really, no, that wouldn't work. Never mind. Forget I said that.
I think because of what we're trying to do would illustrate the fact that it probably wouldn't do well, because we're trying to find the best image inside the image.
Yeah, you're right.
Good point. To do that.
Good point.
So probably would not enter this one. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I hate to say no. She's very successful, so I hate to tell her no. But Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence on this one. I don't,
Just,
would you
if it's
put this
going
in
into
summer?
informal people, it's not going to go anywhere because it's not,
Right.
it doesn't have the engagement it would need. Waterscapes, again, that's a really competitive category.
Yeah.
I think it would do well as what she does well as in a magazine cover, because it's got plenty of copy space and it shows action and place. But I don't know that it would do well in the fair because of, it just it fits a different genre.
Yeah, I agree. All right, sorry about that, but that's our opinion and we're sticking to it.
We're sticking to it.
Yeah. And her last image is a very unique, interesting, again, seascape that she's well known for. Beautiful, wide open space. Only the rocks hitting me in the wrong place. I mean, literally hitting me in the wrong place. It just seems like it's in the wrong place for me. And what category would I put this in? Summer.
I think it would have to go seascapes, but
yeah,
it's kind of just because it is a seascape, but it's not a very in your face sort of seascape. I love the rock and I love the color palette.
Yes, I do too.
I wish the rock was further to the left and we saw more of the leading lines of the water.
You mean further to the right, or? Oh, you think?
No, I mean, I wish the rock was over here. Can you see my annotation?
Oh.
And we saw more of this.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like the pier in the
Like
background. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that would be the other option, would be to cut some of the right and have the pier, which is leading to the rock.
Yeah, because you've got those small little rocks that are leading back. That's kind of my take on it. So you're reading this image from right to left instead of from left to right, sort of. So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to do well for her, but I'm not sure it would do well in the Del Mar or in the fair competition.
Mm-hmm. I love the textures and the colors.
Yeah, me too. Love it. Yeah.
So that kind of hit and miss. That one's going to depend on whoever's judging that category, I think.
Yep. I agree. All right.
Sorry, we can't be more help on that one.
Yeah. Well, I wish you good choices. I mean, I wish you we don't mean to make this harder for you. We're just kind of telling you like it is, because we hear what all these judges are saying when we're taking a break from our judging. We walk around the room, we hear what other judges are saying. So, and then we know what hangs on the walls. And that's why we're making our decisions on that kind of stuff. So anyway, so thank you very much for sending those images in. That was kind of a fun, different episode for us to put together. And if you're interested in sending and having us discuss your images, send them to chickstalkingpics@gmail.com and upload them in JPEG format and 1920 pixels on the longest side. And we'll take a look at them for you. Unfortunately, we're out of time for getting these episodes done and posting them before the San Diego County Fair. But we're doing this throughout the whole year. This is just not a fair thing, fair competition image discussion. This is all year long. We are now approaching our 40th episode. So we're recording. You probably haven't seen them all yet, but Jenny?
Yep. And while you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and the all, and you'll get notified anytime we do an episode, which is about every 2 weeks they come out.
Yeah, great, everybody. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next episode of Chicks Talking Pics.
Bye.
Bye.